Hi everyone! Welcome to today's game of Dice and Dynamics. Gathered here with me, your host, DM, and Oracle of Delphi, here to give you a prophecy that you'll misinterpret and lead you on a path of doom, mostly fed by your hubris. And with me are my fellow acolytes, Sam, Jason, Mark, and Beauty, who is here with me in person. Hi!
Yay!
For those new here, Muty and me are dating. Wow, who could have guessed that?
It's almost like you mentioned it on every single stream since the first one.
So last session, 2 weeks ago, the group had traveled from Kirsabal to the ruins of Mesro. Mesro was the religious seat of the god who controls and runs all of Chult. The city of Mesro fell with the spell plague, which happened a little over 100 years ago. The group is looking for a cube, one of the cubes necessary for entering into and ending the death curse. As you can see on our map here, the group has just come in a little bit. The area is choked with water, but all of it mostly comes up to waist high, except for Jet, who is the smallest, where it comes up to a little bit around his ribs, and everyone has varying degrees of comfortability based on that. And they can see that it is divided into four sections, and there's great big white walls that separate it. Um, each section very distinct in their own way. They can see what might be a residential area in the southwest. Um, on the southeast appears to be more gardens or workhouses, and then the other two sections appear to be a little bit harder to place. Their use is just a little out of immediate understanding. They can see, however, in the northwest area, right above the residential area, just a little bit outside the city walls, is a sort of shambling town built on great stilts carved out of the nearby trees. They can see that there's undead rambling through, um, caught on rudimentary or archaic traps or spikes, things left by the hundreds, if not thousands, of other adventurers that have traveled through here, are squatters that have tried and failed to make a life. You guys are, well, let me ask this. Are you guys moving forward into Mesro, or do you need time to talk?
The only clarifying question that I have is in which section were we seeing the effects that artists probably caused with the like snow squall or whatever it was?
That would be in the residential area in
Okay.
the southwest, and it's almost perfectly blankets the entire area and leaches out to the other side. So it's hard to pinpoint the epicenter.
Okay, so like this entire quadrant is like White Christmas.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
there is a light rain, but it isn't particularly windy, and it's one of the colder days you've experienced, even without that.
I take
And
it. Go ahead.
and then um, are there any indicators on the town on stilts of like who lives there?
Um,
Like
not that
does
you can not that you can see, but Duvanis, with your sort of interest in architecture and stuff like that, definitely humans.
okay.
It's very there's nothing that leaps out and says non-human, and there are fires coming out of huts and stuff like that.
Okay, and no like heads on pikes or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay. All
There's
right,
not
that was
even
my main concern.
No, there's not even undead heads on pikes.
Okay. So do we want to go try to track down artists first, or see if the locals might know where to find this cube?
Soul looks down at this the sad boy camp. We should probably go check on him at the very least. Let him know we're in town.
I feel like if we can solve the artist problem, then we can more easily be able to ask for help in order to find the cube.
That too.
Yeah, and quicker transport, hopefully, back to Dungrungalon.
That too.
I'm checking right now.
Yeah, there's like a pop earlier, and like you got like really quiet, and then you feel like it's gradually getting louder since.
How do we sound?
Speak for a little bit.
There's music and sounds and
Oh.
life.
Yeah.
It grabbed a different microphone.
Yeah, it grabs
Yeah.
a different mic.
They must be like power cycling it, like unplugging it, replugging it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, we got a frozen face, so. Ugh, God. So happy with that picture of Byros.
It came out really good.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he'll be eager to see us?
Maybe.
We
I
sound
mean,
good?
You sound better, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but perhaps some friendly faces might benefit him right now.
Mm.
Most
Agreed.
likely.
All right. Well, let's get this done.
Mm-hmm.
So we're heading towards the ice area.
Okay.
Yes.
You guys step down from where you had been hiding, or, well, just overlooking the city. Eku tells you all that you will have to navigate through the waters. She tells you what I told you before. It'll be around waist high, and it will be difficult to move in.
Not for me.
Yeah, it'll be hard for you because it's not foliage. It's water. You can't land druid water.
Boldly twisting.
And
Well, you're a
so-
swamp, maybe, but.
and she'll pick up Yoka by the back of his shirt and just plop him on her shoulders, and she'll grab her staff and pull on it, and it'll extend, becoming a rather large and long pole, and she'll hold it out towards him, and she'll explain, chances are there will be undead in the water, so it's important that you all walk behind me in a single file line. You keep close, and if you feel something tug on your foot, don't try and find out what it is. Just hit it as hard as you can.
I can agree to that.
Fair point.
Hi,
1 second.
Dad.
We actually see Dad.
We can actually see Dad.
There he
is.
There he is. They can see you on the screen.
Right on. I don't
Not very well. It's
understand.
like 3
Like,
pixels.
organizations.
It's better than what we've had.
How's that for these moments?
How are you guys handling walking through the muggy, swampy water with grass and roots tugging at your legs and ankles?
Gets bitching.
Uh, Soul, who's definitely like having the easiest go of it as the tallest member, is like sort of like swishing his Makahito through the. They forgot to mute themselves. Oh well.
Are you gonna go with my dad?
What noises are those? um. What are they doing?
Talking and making sounds.
Yeah. My goodness. But Soul.
Close the door.
Close.
Thank you. I forgot to mute myself. So, how are you guys handling the walk towards Mesro?
Soul, as the tallest, is having probably the easiest time of it. Whenever he has his shield on his arm and is like not trailing the Makahito like through the water, but like has it like ready, sort of like ice pick to stab down at anything that reaches out at him or anyone near him.
Nice.
Devon,
Go
ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna prompt you guys.
Duvanov has removed her quiver and her bow and is holding it above her head to keep it from getting saturated with water.
Kojak is going to be in the middle between, I would say, he would put Jet before himself, so it would probably be Soul, Jet, Cole, Duvanif.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
So, what are you doing with the walk?
He's swinging his staff out to the side. Kind of just like, ooh.
Jet?
Jet is walking very closely behind Soul, using him as a way to get the water away from him more. He is holding the fuck you dagger that he got, and he's essentially just mumbling to his breath of how he wishes he could just fly constantly instead of dealing with this shit.
If you would prefer, Jet, I can just carry you.
No, because if something happens, you need to swing, and I really don't want to get cut open by this thing.
That is fair. It's quite sharp.
Oh, I know. I stabbed myself like 3 times chanting it.
But why didn't you say it? Never mind.
He whispers, "I'm a cleric."
That's fair.
He just healed himself after subsequently stabbing himself.
Essentially.
It's like, God damn it.
As you guys are traipsing along, you guys hit a pretty deep patch. Echo had explained that the River Olang, one of the most precious rivers to Ubteo, was built alongside the city, but when Ubteo left and the Barai left as well, the River Olang just swallowed the city of Mesro. And so what you guys are hitting is just one of the many small ponds or artificial lakes that were built to foster more gardening areas. And as she's explaining that, Solidago, you'll feel something grasp at your ankle.
Stab.
Okay?
Oh, yeah. That'd be one-handed. Stab. 6 points of slashing damage to whoever's grabbed at me.
Nice. You press down without looking, and you can feel the Makahito, the flat slab of wood that you hit it with, just kind of puncture something soft, and you can feel a squelch, and everything else like that, and the hand holding you will not loosen, but not tighten.
Uh, uh, okay, hold it. Pause for a moment. And, like, so, like, do, like, the thing, like, where, like, you sort of, like, prop your leg up on you, and he sort of, like, reaches down, like, pulls off the hand and tosses it away.
Yes, there is in fact a rotted hand, and it is attached to the rest of the body.
Oh,
The
okay.
head is still there, and in fact, you have parts of the head stuck to your Makahito.
Oh, I missed. And he'll just, like, cut off the rest of the hand to, like, release it.
Nice, and you're able to do that without much incident. Echo will turn back and give you an appreciative nod.
I'm waving at Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hey,
You
Mark,
look
I like the
good.
haircut.
Yeah.
I was starting to feel better as I talked, so figured I'd
Aw.
come back on.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
I was already told this week that I should be descended from Vikings with this haircut and this face. I was like,
I guess-
awesome, I'm Italian.
Hey, the Vikings, like, the
Some
Raiders
Vikings
went
came
all
from
over the
Italy.
place. You never know.
Raiders killed many Greece from Italy. Okay.
Exactly. But, yep. Well, that's one we don't have to worry about. Keep an eye on yourselves. Until, like,
Wash some of it out.
ugh.
As you
And-
guys continue forward, do you have anything else?
Nope, I was just going to say that he continues forward.
Nice. You guys continue forward. Along the way, Echo will explain some of the other unique challenges of Mesro. There's mosquitoes and other insects that have choked out the life in Mesro. It's proven to be a rather unique breeding ground for some of the most hostile insects in
Oops.
Chult. And she'll lean back and kind of look at you guys very dramatically and say, and that's saying a lot.
Great.
She
Yeah.
also explains that there's a lot of crocodiles, and the animals that we might encounter will be a lot bigger than the rest of Chult, which is saying a lot.
Hmm.
You know, you say this and I don't feel any better.
Well, don't forget the living traps left behind.
Living
the-
traps?
A defense system left by one of the last Burai. A young girl. It wasn't Tefima. It was someone else. Her name started with a K. It'll come back to me, I'm sure. We can just ask Artis. But
Awesome. Great.
yes.
Duvanith will lean into Cole in front of her and say, I'm pretty sure, isn't that Artis's ex K name?
Which one? Caning?
Yeah,
A K name.
that we met
That-
at
Sergeant Nambaza's.
yeah, at the Oracle.
That was Alisanda.
Yes. Alessandra.
Okay.
It's not a Caning.
No, it's not. Sorry.
I feel like we have heard of a K though. I'm just
The
not
only-
placing it.
I know of is Gueothe and Bessie.
Yeah.
I don't think Gueothe was a living though. Unless she was.
I guess we'll find out when we ask Artis later if we remember to. So, when you say that it was the Barai that left, is
No, I think she said that it was one of the last Barai that had left behind the
No.
defense system and living traps.
no. Like after she described the rivers and how the river had changed, that it was after Rosny.
After Ubteo
Ubteo-
died.
Yes. Are those the only ones that left? Because the city does look quite intact.
I could look back. No, the city was just made very well. Upteo made it. So, as you can understand, something divinely made might be a little bit more resilient.
Gotta imagine
Yes.
the roads here are pretty hard to navigate if Upteo made it.
That just means you have to live here for long enough.
One could say the roads are labyrinthine.
Yes, maze-like.
You know, I'm dating Tyrion, and that was still the worst joke I've heard.
I appreciate
Somewhere
it.
Tyrion feels mildly proud of himself.
Either that or feels a call to do better. Or worse, depending on how you want to think about it.
Your vicious mockery definitely works.
That's how you want to play it, Jet? Got it.
Take these out, put
You-
them away.
Guys, finally, after a nauseating long trek, you guys approach the walls into the residential quarter. You can see that they're tall. At the highest of them, they rise 30 feet above the water. And there's sections where they've crumbled, or where previous adventurers have dug holes through, or just bricks and other things torn off. And the walls are made out of a very fine white stone. It's not anything any of you can immediately place, but it doesn't appear to be porous, and you can see that there's sharp rocks jutting out to prevent casual climbing. You can also see at maybe 5 feet or 10 feet intervals along the walls, there are statues cast in bronze or silver or gold of varying forms and figures of men and women, all of them human, and they're all in diverse stances or poses with metal plaques centered in between their feet. They're too high for any of you to read, but their faces impose down on you. And you can see it just circles and goes around, and the statues are there like as far as you can see.
All right, should we try to locate a hole that looks big enough and stable enough, or are we going to climb this wall?
I feel like climbing it would be kind of difficult, and that's mostly because there's spikes on the top there.
No, there's like rocks in the wall.
Oh, sharp
Yeah.
rocks. Okay. Interesting. We would have to be very, very careful not to just kind of put our hands willy-nilly.
Sam, you're muted.
We should try to find one of those holes in the wall, or go to the proper entrance if that's still an option.
Cole looks at Eku.
Echo will shake her head. No. The entrance is for the people who live here.
Very well. Are there any holes near us then?
Are you looking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say from where you guys are, you can see that there's a pretty small hole that's been choked out with water 20 feet from you. You guys would have to go through some shallow water, or you would have to widen it in some way, but it would definitely look very uncomfortable for you to pass through Solidago, if not impossible.
We might have to go along the wall a little bit and see if we can't find something.
I have a question. Would it be possible to do, if Cole casted plant growth, would it be possible to have vines grow along the wall, like up the wall?
Pull up the spell.
Click.
I would say yes if there were plants already on the wall.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Are there plants on the wall?
No,
No.
it is deceptively clean.
Huh. It's almost like
Impressive.
it's almost divine that there is no
Almost
plants
like
on the wall.
Ubteo invested in antimicrobial technology.
So, do we want to keep looking for another hole or risk the climb?
If any of us can fit through the hole, if we can, one of us can go through, throw a rope to the other side, and have someone climb that way, it might be less dangerous that way.
True, but then we'd be splitting the party, and if someone gets caught on the other side with a horde of zombies, that might.
I have a feeling that if this is a mostly residential area with these kind of security measures, I don't think there'd be many undead inside the walls.
Well,
No,
if we
we saw undead in the walls, didn't we?
no, in the water.
No, in the water, not on the walls.
Well, like in the town, I mean.
Did we see any undead in the residential area?
Cannot remember.
You can make it up now. That's up to you.
You might have seen a few. Well, with the ice thing, it would be hard to say.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to risk it. I'd prefer just to walk along a little bit longer and see what we find.
Well, if we think about this, when it comes to climbing, I think I'm the one that's going to have a problem. But if we go through the hole, it looks like Soul's the only one going to have a problem. So,
Well-
go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, continue.
Well, I was just saying, if we all choose the same spot to do everything, it could be either everybody goes through the hole and you climb it, or I go through and everybody climbs over.
Hmm.
Either
Well,
way.
yes, but the issue is that the walls are covered in spikes. I don't think we can just climb that. Like, it's specifically made not to climb.
That's
Okay.
why I recommended the rope thing. It's easier to find places to put your feet. But if you want to keep going and see if there's any other hole, we
Oh, I
can do
thought
that
Fish
too.
said that though there were. It looked like it was for casual. Maybe I misheard. My bad.
Against casual climbing.
Again, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I think that the rope would probably elevate us from casual to like intermediate climbing.
Mhm.
At that point.
Yeah, true. But also, how high are the walls too? That's another
It's
question.
about 10 feet.
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay.
Okay, so we could toss. There would be enough rope to potentially toss, like something over, but it depends on how thick we talking.
I mean, I could try to make the climb and then toss the rope down.
That's a lot of work.
I
I'm
It's
just
just-
saying.
Let's try looking for a hole first, and then
yeah. If we can't find one, if we can't find one near us, we can use that as a plan B.
Alright, we're looking for another hole.
All right. Looking for a hole is going to take time out of the day. Are you willing to commit to it?
Oh, it's gonna be that much time. Okay. Damn.
Well, if there isn't one within if we can't find one in half an hour, I'd say we come back.
Okay. Whoever's taking charge of looking for the hole, roll me a perception check.
Duvanis or Koashak. Not Soul on that one.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have great
Definitely.
perception.
Go do.
Yes.
That works.
All right. As you guys are moving along, hugging the wall, Echo taking the lead. You'll see her occasionally with Yoka on her shoulders, stop the party, snap her fingers, and point, and Yoka will just draw back and jab forward, and they'll just kind of keep going like this. Yoka Jaegering the pole and just taking care of any undead or crabs or anything else like that in their way.
If I knew
And-
this,
Yes.
if I knew this, I would have was ready to spell for. Could have.
Oh well, hindsight 2020, right? Yoka and Eku just compatible.
Duvanith, as the group is moving along, you're able to feel through the water and through some of the natural erosion and wear and tear on the city wall that there does appear to be a hole that was kind of hidden by manually placed shrubbery. A hole big enough for the group to move through. The water sort of like feeds into it. Solidago,
She'll point it out.
the rest of the group can see that there's a hole hidden by manually placed shrubbery.
What was that about Soul?
Solidago can fit, but it'll be rough for him. And the tunneling has, again, kind of like the sharps of the tunnel, so it might impact
Scrape a
him if he
little
isn't
bit.
careful. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is about as good as it's gonna get, and he'll like take off his pack and like to make it like an easier fit and sort of like just push that on ahead of him.
Okay. Eku will sort of move the shrubbery aside and gesture for all of you to go ahead. She'll bring up the rear and hide the entrance.
Cole will lead, I would say.
Alright. Yeah. Soul will go last before Eku. Just so that way if he gets caught, not everyone gets caught.
Wise. I'll be right behind Cole then.
All right. With the order situated, the group travels on through the wall, and Soul, I need you to make me a dexterity check as you sort of navigate and try to keep yourself from.
Scraping.
Yes.
A 10. That's not horrible.
Alrighty. It's not as bad as it should be. Your scales catch most of the work, and it thankfully doesn't dig into any of the soft tissue or the exposed skin or some of the more delicate scales. And the 6 of you emerge on the other side relatively well. Just from where you are, you can see that there's streets choked with wildlife and growth, and everything is blanketed in a delicate white blanket of frost. You can see Pueblo-style buildings that are tiered and stacked with stairs, like very organic-looking stairs that snake up, allowing, stories and stuff like that. You can see that there's touches of individualism applied to all of the houses. Faded, bleached mazes painted on. There's clay vases of the previous owners that have never been filled. You can see one building must have been owned by someone who collected house plants. There's just plants erupting out, strangling out of the windows and tumbling down the wall. You can see that there's flat roofs. Nothing is domed, but there's holes in the railing that let water naturally flow out. And also everything's covered in frost, and it's fucking cold.
Are we still like
Jeez.
waist deep in water too?
No, you have walked out, sadly, because now Silverdogger, your thighs down are starting to frost over, and the rest of you are experiencing very steep chills.
Okay.
The body heat has been sapped out of you.
What
Oh, boy.
what are the details for the Ring of Warmth?
What ring of warmth?
Remember, Cole has 2 rings. He's got a ring of fire resistance and a ring of warmth. The one with the 2 little foxes on it.
I think that's a ring of regeneration, right?
Yeah,
Ring of
no.
regeneration?
Regeneration.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ring of
the
regeneration.
Ring of Warmth is, I think, just like,
It's against cold damage.
Yeah.
oh yeah, and also like I think it was just like shown in the thing because it's very, very, very cute.
It's adorable.
Fucking cute as hell.
Duvanith will put her bow and quiver on and like start doing jumping jacks
Yeah,
to try to warm herself up.
yeah.
In addition, you and everything you wear and carry are unharmed by temperatures as low as -50. So
We don't have one though.
We don't have one though.
I thought we
I,
had-
thought-
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought it. I
Yeah.
thought it was a ring of warmth. It's a ring of regeneration.
What's the other
Mhm.
ring? Fire resistant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eku is going to drop Yoka and look over at Duvanith and kind of like press her lips together and say very gently, "We both know that isn't going to help you against hypothermia."
I know.
And she's going to pop her boots off, and then she's just gonna strip her pants off right there.
Just rips them. Tearaway pants.
Great.
That's what we wanted to see on a Friday night.
I'm going to go start a fire.
Oh, yes, that's a very good idea. I'll come help you with that.
Let me pick a house. I'm trying to remember which one of these wouldn't mind if I... This one. And she'll just walk into a house, kick the door in like she owns the place, and shuffle in and get a fire started in one of the fireplaces.
Also, just to be like aware of like how uncomfortable Soul is with the situation. Is she wearing underwear, please?
I mean, she's wearing a long tunic.
It's long enough.
It's long enough. There's enough to like where like the butt cheeks show like a little bit coily, but that's it.
Oh, no, it's like, mid-thigh.
Okay.
Tunics are long already.
Okay, cool. Yay. Soul's concerned, but not nearly as concerned as he could be. But yeah, Soul will follow after her and assist in starting a fire because he's cold as hell, but his husband is also Alba, so
Cole sits in front of the fireplace and takes a nap. And starts to fall asleep.
Oh no.
Cole, would you like me to help warm you up? Like body heat? You're falling asleep.
Just let me sit here for like half an hour.
No, we have to keep moving. But
We have to let our clothes dry first.
oh, true, that is true.
And my brain just went. We just said we're starting a fire. Why are we going?
We literally just started a fire. Why are we leaving immediately?
True, fair. My bad.
The
I didn't think
camper
that
and
through
Mark-
all the way.
The camper and Mark was like, "Wait, what?"
Shush. Shush. I haven't gone
Years-
camping in years.
Years of Washington State having Smokey the Bear visit us every Friday in our classroom, telling us only you can prevent forest fires.
See, all I got was
the group-
McGruff telling me.
Not to do drugs.
Well,
The group can press forward if you would prefer. Echo and Yoka, however, are going to stay behind with the fire in the fireplace and wait until their clothes are dry. Echo does say, "You guys are adults. You guys can make the decisions you want to make. I'm not going to stop you, but
It's
I'd
really,
rather not have my clothes freeze to my body.
yeah, it's really not
agreed. No, that makes sense. And so we'll, like, sort of like turn and like let like his backside melt off a little bit and then like turn to the front.
Jet
Do you
will
want it?
Jet will follow Eku and very shyly take off his tunic so it can dry.
Oh, he's like in the corner.
Yeah. So probably like takes off his shirt and stuff, but keeps pants on.
Wait, Soul had a shirt?
Soul's always has. We're in the jungle.
Why are you taking your shirt off but not your pants? The pants that got wet.
He's afraid of
your
what he'll
your
show.
shirt is dry.
It's
Your
fine.
pants that are wet.
So like,
Soul's just like,
Soul just wants to show off.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Soul has a shirt. When did he get a shirt?
he's always had a shirt. But fine. He'll like go off to like a side room, like take off his pants and like come back with like his like shirt like across like his waist. Like he's wearing under like boxers, but he's still like has that on. It's like shush.
Cole takes off his pants and he puts like his turtle shield over his lap.
um,
I feel so bad for Devon.
Yes. She's just sitting next to the fire with her pants on, like uncomfortably close to the fire, trying to like, get the water to evaporate.
Faster.
Jet, can you do like a wind thing and help this process?
why would
Have you never been wet and dealt with wind?
No, I mean like on the clothes to like not the ones that Devoneth are wearing because she would punch you.
No.
Not like a. Fair enough.
I can't do.
And nobody has prestidigitation.
I don't know.
Oh well.
Echo raise her hand? Oh, I do.
Eku. Well, actually, now
If I wanted to use prestidigitation, I would have.
what's prestidigitation?
I don't know. It's just something wizards talk about.
Hmm.
I heard you can get like rid of little stains or maybe like
Like something dry.
Eku,
Yes, Jet.
can you use the spell, please?
Why?
I don't like sitting here in my boxes waiting for it to dry when you could just use the beautiful spell, make everything dry, and we can put clothes back on. Please?
I'll do it for you.
I appreciate you.
She'll snap her hands and your pants will be dry.
Gonna throw them back on, bro.
I must say the modesty threshold is kind of throwing me off.
In time, your clothes will dry. The houses are not as impacted by the chill of the outside. The air is a dry, sort of soft heat, so it won't take long at all for your pants to dry to a point that's comfortable.
It's a dry.
Thankfully, not much time was spent.
That's
Okay,
surprising
well-
in a fucking swamp.
Eku will choke out the fire, make sure it's safe to go, and she'll wait on everybody else's lead before pressing along.
Oh, thank God! It was starting to smell awful over here.
You know,
Yeah.
I've been in the jungle for how long? I'm sorry.
Also, swamp water never smells good when it evaporates.
No, it does not.
All right, are we ready to go look for artists?
I believe that's the plan.
All right.
You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Ow.
You guys talk amongst yourselves while. Sorry, I checked something.
They.
Do you think that perhaps there's a place of like mourning in this residential area that we could check?
Perhaps. I assume he'll be at the epicenter of the place, since it does appear to be a sort of a axle type setup.
Just get the art.
Well, true. I mean,
Talk to your friend.
it could be a. Well, as
It
far
was
as
hard
far
to
as
find the
the
epicenter, though, wasn't it?
winter-ish thing goes, he might not actually be here anymore. He could have just caused this effect and left.
Well, then wouldn't it have gone already if he'd already left?
I mean, I don't know.
I assume we would notice it melting, but maybe this is just a part of it. Like Soul will like look out and see if like, well, hold it.
Well,
He'll
we
wait
would
for the
know.
DM to come back.
You would notice if anything had started to melt, but it seems like the frost is very active.
Yeah, and I was going to say that he looks out, but the DM is currently busy checking a thing. But yes, it seems. I assume that whatever is happening is still happening.
I agree.
That's concerning.
Well, I mean, one of his best friends just died. I'd be upset too.
I think she was more like his daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that aside, he's more than, you know, his feelings about the matter are valid. But you know, when I get sad, I don't have a world-ending artifact on my finger.
Well, that we know.
Ooh, Duvana, not everyone can't have a world-ending artifact on them.
Not everyone can have an evil magical item that I'll never put on my ring ever.
Check your magical privilege, Duvana.
True, but this doesn't mean he's not allowed to have feelings. And it seems to be just contained to this area, so he is controlling himself.
Yeah, to a certain extent. But
Well-
we were able to see that it was slowly going over to the other places.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Well,
that's my
we
point.
got here in time. It's not like it's taken over the
Hopefully.
entire world yet.
Hopefully we got here in enough time. Yes, Jen.
Quick side question.
Hmm.
Do we know which object is here that we're looking for?
A cube, but that's it.
We're looking for a cube. We don't know which one, but I imagine it has to be around here somewhere.
Okay, so I'm looking in my book right now, and I have a spell prepared today for this. But it says describe or name an object, and I have a feeling, as Jet looks around, if I say cube, I'm gonna get a lot of pings.
Well,
You could say terracotta cube with a relief of one of the 9 gods.
well, yes, actually, Devonth has an example on her.
Yes,
can just-
but the problem is I need to make sure I describe it so it goes for the specific one we're looking for. And
But we don't know-
not-
Yeah, we don't know which one.
That's why I was asking, because I didn't know the answer.
No, we don't
Um,
know the exact one, but if there's more than one cube in here, I'd like to find all of them, and I highly doubt it would consider houses as cubes necessarily, unless, or else I imagine the spell would be kind of useless.
I think if you specify terracotta cube, you'll get less pings because a lot of the stones around here are not made of terracotta.
True.
Yes, and like a small one too,
I don't.
a small
I also-
terracotta cube.
I also don't know if it's going to ping this one that we have and not go for another one if it's in the general area.
That's too.
Is it possible for it to ping more than one thing, or is it just like the closest one?
Out of character, I don't fucking know because it doesn't say anything about it here. I'll click it, but it'll find it. But the thing is, it's within 1,000 feet, and it's whatever I describe. So if I describe it enough for the DM, the problem is I don't know if the spell just aims for the closest one, says it's here, and not do anything else.
I would roll as DM because it says singular. I would say, yeah, the nearest.
Okay,
it's
so
not
we
even-
could also specify not the one with the Papazago on it.
Or we can ask, like, and see if Eku knows which one's here, or if we find artists, ask if he knows which one's here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just one of those things that definitely just came up. I'm like, we could use this, but this map is definitely not less than
1,000
1,000 feet. So fuck. And second of all, I have to make a specific choice or describe it very well. And I think just saying, you know, a terracotta, like even just saying what type of cube it is, it's not gonna work because it's not the specific god. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Mesro probably has a particular god that was associated with it outside
Oh,
of
yes.
Mateo. Right, but
Roll more of the 9 gods. Which one might be associated with Missouri?
I mean, he definitely knows the 9 gods.
Yeah, we all know. Yeah, we know the names. We all know the names of the 9 gods.
Well,
But we know
the way I'm
which one's
thinking,
associated with Missouri.
I was gonna say the way I'm thinking, wouldn't it almost be like this is the same thing as Waterdeep, where like all the fucking gods temples are there. Like there's no one person one god that's like specifically to this location. That's my
I think
thought.
you got. I think you. She thinking.
Did I get
No,
a,
I'm
did I get a
hiding
hidden
my
face?
face. Stop looking at it.
Did I get I got a hidden face for once? Holy shit! What episode are we on?
You got more than one hidden face.
Her eyes like
actually,
got all
no.
big. Her eyes got all big. And she leaned away from the camera because you got it.
Yeah, there's probably gonna be shit to everyone here, but I don't know. There's like the center area looks like it has a good looks promising for a place where a cube might be, or like in the living village.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Was perhaps we could ask if they've ever seen anything.
Yeah. Another question: where the fuck are we on this map?
Somewhere along the wall. Let me ping you specifically.
Like
Thank
down
you.
here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, right there actually.
I was so confused. I'm like, where the fuck are we? Because there's a lot of wall and there's a lot of water. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a long trek, and thankfully it's a second level spell, and so I have a bunch of them. A lot of, but that's a lot of things because it's only 10 minutes.
Yes.
Also, I was just thinking it might actually feature a relief of Papazotl because the cubes that we reorganized at the gate near the sage had repeats.
No, but these particular cubes might just have each 9 god on them, because the cubes for the gates are wooden, right? Or are they also terracotta?
They were a different material.
Okay.
Yes. Like I think these are special ones. I think it'll be like a collect them all kind of deal as opposed to finding repeats. But
Come on.
All right. Well, let's
Press forward to artist.
Yeah, let's I would say get more info before we
Yeah.
we use shit.
Stop artist from being sad boy.
I don't give a fuck.
So you guys are trying to find artists?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So would also like toss like bedrolls out to people who are cold and would need them more to like sort of like put around their shoulders to help keep in the warmth.
Okay, that's a good idea. Whoever is leading the hunt, actually, everyone make me a perception check
Shit.
as you all start your look for artists.
Ugh, yuck.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jets are bitchin'.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Give me my calculator. I have to do the average. Also, do you remember how to do the average? It's
I know how to do averages.
every number and then divided by 4.
14 plus
Babe, I'm
43.
science major.
57 divided by 4 is 1.
I want to do this.
Fine.
I have to do this. I have my pink calculator.
We found it.
Aww.
I get a solid 15 or 16.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. As you guys move along, all of you keeping an eye out for specifically Devaneth and Kalashak, what are you guys looking for? Like, what's the clues of Artis?
So for Cole, he's looking for if it gets stronger depending on which way they go, or even just looking at the skies, if, say, it's coming from a certain direction or going towards a certain direction. Things like that. If it gets colder, depending on which way they're going, etc.
Okay. The other three of you?
Devaneth is looking for footprints and also kind of looking at the like frost patterns on the wall because she kind of thinks that it was that it's a balloon out effect. So she's kind of like, is there a possibility of like backtracking based on the way that the wind has blown the frost to form into icicles or whatever.
Yeah. Soul would have sort of like been like every now and then like splashing like some wire on the ground and then like seeing like if it freezes in a certain direction or if it's just like a classic sort of like from the center sort of freeze.
Okay.
With a 6, Jet is very much just in awe of the snow because it's been so long
Well,
since
I'm not asking that. I'm asking what he's looking for.
Jet's essentially just looking for Artis, see if he's around the corner.
Okay.
he doesn't think like them, so he's just like, oh, not down there.
Can we take a 5-minute break?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
We'll be right back, guys. Hold on.
Hi everyone, welcome back to today's game. We rejoin our heroes as they have officially begun navigation of Nezra's residential quarter and are making their search for Artis Simber, the ex-adventurer and holder of the Ring of Winter. Navigating through the residential quarter is difficult. There are no signs, there are no hopeful, you are here, and go here for here. There's just mazes, entanglements. Sometimes there's sections where the stone flooring that has been choked out with wildlife just disappears into inky blackness, which requires some navigation around our other sorts of manual fixing. Specifically between Duvaneth and Koshak's help, with Koshak sort of divining the. What was yours again?
Oh, mine was trying to find, looking at like if it gets colder one way, if maybe up in the sky there are clouds or anything that to indicate where it's coming from.
So between Koshak paying close attention to the articulation of the temperature or cloud formation, and Duvaneth paying close attention to how the frost forms on the walls and other things, you guys are able to navigate the maze-like, one could say labyrinthian styling of the residential quarter.
Called
And it takes you some time, a few hours of steady, careful walking, before you guys find yourselves in the northernmost part of the map. And as you step into this specific neighborhood, which is a bit more run down than the rest of the place, some of the buildings are dilapidated and were dilapidated before the whole general apocalypse, just based on the weathering, dusting, and other things.
Mhm.
In this neighborhood, in the very narrow streets, you can see just clustered outside of a house where the snow has ballooned out, suffocating, much like the plant growth you had seen earlier. You can see a small gathering of now frozen bodies, all of them in various states of battle preparedness. All of them are wearing robes. Some of them have undead stuck trailing behind them. And a robed figure standing 10-20 feet outside of a very distinct house, hands outstretched. You can see that ice had formed around what might have been a spell, where the vacancy is now, if that makes any sense at all.
Say that one more time.
Like a robed figure reaching out with a hand 10-20 feet from the front door of a very distinct house, and there's like a ice formed around where a spell might have been cast,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Yes. And you can see that in the front of that house, on the second floor, there is a figure shambling around in a balcony that was haphazardly slapped on at some point.
How fresh do the bodies look?
I mean, they're frozen, so it's not anything you're going to be able to determine from eyesight or from where you are, because you guys are still a brisk walk from them.
Okay, cool.
And when you say a figure shambling around, does it look like sort of the movement pattern we've come to understand and associate with zombies, or is it
Depressed artists?
Yeah, or is it someone being sad?
Hit me with an insight.
Ooh.
17.
Paying close attention, there's a slight shoulder bob as the figure's walking. Definitely not undead. It would be hard to stay depressed. There's a lot of energy there. More antsy are think
Like pacing on the
yeah,
balcony?
pacing, like thinking very, very hard.
On the balcony or in front of the house?
Balcony.
Okay.
The balcony's in front of the house on the second floor.
Mm-hmm. All right. I assume that's him.
Probably.
And then who's the one in robes in front of the house?
That's the person that's pacing, isn't it?
No, there's two different people.
Oh shit. Okay.
There's someone in front of the house that's robed with their hand outstretched, and then there's also someone on the second floor balcony facing.
Okay.
Did
Is
you
one of
say that
these dragon bait? Like I feel like he'd be kind of like easy to pick out.
Are you guys approaching to check?
Soul would be.
Okay. How are you
So-
approaching?
Soul would put away his Makahito and sort of like approach cautiously, like hands like face forwards to show like, hey, nothing in them. And like I don't know, he knows them. He's not really worried about them attacking.
Okay, cool. As you approach the group of people, they're all frozen in place. There's like ice bubbled around, clinging over every surface of their body. Some of them have even, the ones that don't have rapidly decomposed, their blackened skin coiling back from their mouth in a permanent snarl. They're
Your descriptions. These are the faces I make when you're deep in descriptions about stuff like this.
their eyes sort of like filtered over, and you can see where the blood in their veins has frozen. You see about roughly 3 undead and then 4 robed figures, again all of them in various states of reaching for daggers or reaching for spell books. The robed figure at the front,
Is it red? Is the robe red?
well, you're not looking at the bodies. The robed figure at the front, her hood is pulled back and it's completely shaved. You can see that she has intricate facial tattoos. She looks young, unbearably young, maybe just a little bit older than 19. And she has her spell book open, and the thing is so perfectly preserved that you can see where she's made mistakes writing down incantations and had to scrub it or peel it away with a scraper or a knife of some kind. None of them are dragon bait. They're all varying states of human.
Mm-hmm. So the one that's sort of like hand facing forward is also frozen?
Yes, they are all frozen. And
Okay.
you can safely assume dead.
Yeah, one could assume. Aw, dang it.
Well, then, as they approach, what colors are the robes that they are wearing?
You're approaching?
Yeah,
gonna
Soul was the only
observe.
one that said that he was approaching so far.
He's gonna follow behind Soul.
Okay. And you're taking a close look at the robes.
Mhm.
You can see that they're. It's a little hard to tell through the frost. You can safely say that maybe they're scarlet or a carmine color.
Make like a coral, like a dark coral.
Yeah,
kind
like
of
a
thing?
dark coral, very
Like-
dark.
Like a dark
Right, like a-
salmon.
like a sharp
Yeah.
maroon color.
If you had to be really simplify it, maybe red is a word you could use.
I wonder if that's like something that like Thanes get like uppity about. It's like, this is clearly not red. This is like maroon. That person over there, they're wearing cyan. Come on.
I am a scout. Mine are ruby colored. You absolute baby.
They're all dead. You guys can come forward.
Duvanith will come forward, but will not come any further forward than denies her a shooting angle on the pacing figure.
Okay.
But does Soul like peer into the house in question, see like how clear it looks?
Okay, cool. Jet, what are you doing as you approach? Are you close behind Solidago and Koshak, or?
Jet's gonna get close. Is he? So he sees the spell book, on the young woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone else in the group that, of the dark salmon robes?
The crimson
That
robes.
have anything that detect them as a caster of sorts?
All of them. You can see that while some are reaching for daggers, they have component pouches or spell books hooked on their side.
How
The only thing that spellcasters are the undead.
how thick does the ice look?
Very.
Yeesh.
The spell book that's open, written. Can he read any of the spells? Like
Yeah, you can.
They're
You
trying
can try
to
and-
depict what she was casting.
Make me an Arcana check if you're trying to identify the spell. Fireball.
A
Damn. Okay.
nice old standby.
That's a good one. Oldie
I
but
didn't
No,
goodie.
you
ask
could've
how
been-
many people were in the house.
She-
I
she-
said I cast fireball.
That means she could have been trying to do anything, you know?
Mhm. Clear
'Cause fireball-
room.
It's a universal solution.
Yeah.
There's never a wrong
When in
situation.
doubt, fireball it out.
Peaceful negotiation, diplomatic treaty.
A hostage situation.
You saw a spider.
Teaching kids spells at the daycare.
Solidago, you're peering in, right?
Yes.
All right. Peering in. One thing you can note is that the house is spectacularly cleaned. Even the front porch, is swept. Inside, it's rather cozy. You can see that there's a painting featuring artists and the woman you had met in front of the shrine, with the woman holding a swaddled infant to her chest, and even the painting shows them smiling very painfully. Give me 1 second.
You're good.
You can see some plants that have died now. It's very artistically cluttered, with a lot of shelves overflowing with like curios and trophies and other things. It's very well lived in.
This seems to be the place. Does there appear to be like stairs anywhere that lead upwards?
There do appear to be stairs to the back.
Okay. So we'll head towards them.
Okay, so you're stepping into the house?
Yes.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
It's a 10,
All
I
right.
think. Let me double check. Yep, 10.
As you step forward, bringing your foot forward, you feel it snug on something, and a wire snaps.
Fuck.
And you hear a very sharp and distinct bell go off, and it's the what is it? The
Yeah. Shaving a
Um,
haircut.
yes, shaving a haircut. And Duvanith, from your position, the shambling figure will stop cold on their feet, pull up a hood, and seem to pull something off of their back and disappear into the wall. Not like disappear, like walk through a doorway. I was
Okay.
being
I
I was
was
gonna
like,
say it goes like into the wall.
I was being prosy.
What is this, Skyrim?
We found Strahd's vacation home.
okay. As the figure disappears off the porch, Duvaneth will move forward, and she'll say, "What happened?"
Shit. Artis, it's us. Sorry, I didn't mean to trip your trap. So I'll like call out.
Jet's gonna look back at Dawn. I don't know. I was trying to read the fucking notebook.
That's the only movie me and Tyrion ever cried together while watching.
God
They
damn
would
it!
think the notebook was. They would think the notebook was like cinema.
Um, did you guys knock or?
No.
No, well, the
So
door
keep an
sort of
alarm.
rang for me, and he sort of like like gestures down at the like wire at his feet.
Duvaneth will say, "Well, whoever was up on the balcony, they came inside. So
All right.
Jet's gonna look around on the first floor area, like outside on the first floor, like to see if anybody's like coming up, like zombies or anything, because the bell just rang.
Are you looking in through a window? Are you inside
like
the house?
No, like
Jet's
the stairs,
looking-
the outside area.
Jet's
Yeah,
looking
he's like looking the
everywhere
outside
else.
area.
Not that you can see. There doesn't appear to be any figures or
Okay.
anything encroaching.
Jet just didn't want to. Just wants to make sure that we're not trapped at a dinner bell.
Mm-hmm. But no, yeah. Soul's calling out to Artis right now. See if he heard
Yeah.
him.
There's no response.
Right. Duvon, if you're good with seeing traps and the like, right?
kind of.
Would you mind taking a look around? Get the feeling this wouldn't be the first. This might be the first one, but I assume there's more.
Sure. And she'll step around Soul and sort of take in the room. And is this just like a single room and then stairs kind of go up out of the sort of the rear of the room, is my understanding?
Yeah, it's about single room. It's a open space. There's a kitchen in the back with a very nice fireplace. There's a sort of living room, dining room area, a living room, and then stairs.
Okay. She will peer into those attached rooms to see what she can see, but will not leave the sort of the first room. Just sort of head check into them to see what she can see.
Okay, cool. Make me a perception check. As you're glancing around, the kitchen is well populated. The cupboards are in use, and there was a fire maybe 2, 3-ish, 4-ish hours ago. That the fireplace has been used recently. The attached rooms have signs of life. You can see Artis's blue coat thrown haphazardly over a chair. You can see one of Messica's kopeshes placed with almost reverence on the table, and nothing else that you can see.
Okay. She'll say, I think that's it for down here.
Okay. Then. So we'll continue forwards to the stairs.
Okay.
Shield at the ready just in case.
Are you walking up?
Yes.
Okay. As you're approaching up the stairs, your foot will snag on another wire,
Oh god damn it!
and this time you'll hear a high shinny, and then sort of stuck to the wall, you can see a sort of where the wall has, I'm trying to explain this right, a relief of a mouth, and you'll see it take to life, and you'll hear Alisandra's voice go, "If you're entering the premises and you aren't Alessandra or my daughter or any of the Barai or delivery system, please leave. Or at least announce yourself."
My name is Soladago Semper of the Wastrels. Here to speak with Artis.
Okay?
My name is Kojak. I am a part of the Wastrels, also here to talk to Arthas.
We're really doing this. I'm Divanif Elenos. I'm here to speak with artists.
Is Jet inside?
No, because no one said anything. Y'all just went in because Soul rang the bell. Jet's still scared of zombies right now.
Oh no.
So he hears them talking. He goes, "Oh shit!" And he goes to the doorway and goes, "I'm Jet. I'm with them."
There'll be silence. Maybe 3 minutes go by, and then you'll, Solidago, and any of those pairing up the stairs will see Arctis's head sort of pop around the corner from like floor level, and he'll say, "Okay, you're talking to me. Leave."
I'm afraid we can't do that.
Well, there's a difference between talking and saying a thing. How are you doing?
I think that's a kind of moot question. So
"I'm fine, Soul. It's going."
Jet has his hand raised.
Well, if Jet wants to say something, say
I
it.
didn't want to interrupt the back and forth. That's all. I was just being polite. Can Jet insight the level of depression that he is in, that Artis is in right now?
You sure can take a look and see the level of depression. So his hair, which used to be very meticulously combed and well kept, even in the swamp and everywhere else, appears to be in like logs almost. It's very stringy, very clumped. His beard is like grown out, and it's very bushy. He's really great at growing facial hair. It looks really nice, actually. Which is a problem because he usually keeps a nice and tidy goatee. He grew a beard in 11 days.
He's becoming full.
He's becoming Santa Claus.
He's becoming full Aragorn.
He's got like lines under his eyes, and he's in it, boys.
Mhm.
He's in it.
Oh my god, he's gone full Nick Cage.
He's here to seal the decoration of Mesra.
All right. Well, you're sort of freezing up the city at the moment.
Jet's actually gonna slowly walk towards the stairs.
Cole is going to gently step forward and say, artist?
Color shop.
May I brush your hair?
Hold up a strand. I have to wash it first. Have you guys been into Ubteo's Spire yet?
Not yet,
No.
no.
Okay.
We came to see you first.
Should have checked out the spire first.
Why? What's there?
Probably what you came here to find. I have... he'll take a second and gather himself. He'll brush a hand over his face, and when he lifts it, you guys can see that his... those of you who are looking can see that his eyes are rimmed red, and he's trying to hold his composure. Messica needs to be buried there, but I can't get inside anymore.
How so?
I don't know.
Probably for the same reason I might not be able to go inside.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Cole kind of like.
What is the requirement to get in?
I don't know. You get in. It's even after the spell plague and my involvement with Frosna Sea. Even with my involvement with Frosna Sea, I used to be getting. I can't think of why I can't.
Well, we can help transport her there.
Sounds good. Are they dead outside?
They have an inch of ice on them.
Yes.
They're
yes.
frozen solid.
They're dead.
They're
Yeah.
frozen solid.
If if they weren't, we could simply just give them a tap and they would be.
That's
No,
good.
their skin is turning black and they're dead.
Artist will sort of drag himself forward with his hands and climb to his feet. His shirt is on, the tunic he wears under. It's unlaced, in a very roguish manner that's deceptively contradictory to the rest of his appearance. His pants are stained, he's not wearing boots, his socks have holes in them, and he'll stand to his full height and look down at the group. Good thing you didn't walk any forward. And he'll slap the wall, and you can see kind of like arcane fissures glow for a second. Glyph of warding would have knocked you into the next dimension.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't walk any more forward then.
Oh, I need to learn
that. Well, when Mesro gets back, you can ask my wife.
Here, come on.
Don't patronize me, Solidago.
No, sorry.
Cole is just going to like hold his hands up and say, "Let me fix your collar. It's a mess."
Sol, can you move out of the way so I can come down the stairs?
Yes, so we'll do so.
Jet will head back outside.
Do you guys want sandwiches? I've got peanut butter and jelly.
I would not mind a sandwich.
That would be
Motherfucker needs
lovely.
to sleep.
Okay. He'll walk past Solidago. He'll stoop down and let Koshak fix his collar. And then we'll move to the kitchen and make everybody PB&Js for roughly 5 minutes. He's very good at making them. Does anybody want them cut into funny shapes or have the crust cut off?
Soldago would like them diagonal.
Koshak asks for the crusts to be cut off and for it to be cut in like the shape of a triceratops. He doesn't eat the sandwich, but he asks for the fixins.
Okay, Dumoneth and Jet, do either of you want a sandwich?
Dumoneth's standpoint is, yeah, just put the stuff in between the bread and hand it to me. No reason to cut it.
Cutting it's the most important part, to be honest. That's what makes it taste good.
That's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich has peanut butter, jelly, bread, then it's toasted, and then it's cut with love.
Wait, you toast it after you put the stuff on? Wouldn't the peanut butter and jelly just melt?
Like a panini.
Yeah, that's how you make them in Mesro.
Oh, that's horrifying. I'm so glad I didn't become a beret. I have to protect this?
Oh, Broadway, you're in my house. You guys get your sandwiches.
Is it
You
crunchy
can
peanut
try
butter?
No, it's smooth.
Ugh.
Nothing to please Solidago, apparently.
That's probably like
Koshak gets
apricot
one
jelly, too.
shaped like a triceratops with the edges cut off. So the doggo gets one cut diagonally. Duvaneth gets one also cut diagonally, but like a little bit more careful than Solidago's. Jet, you get yours with the crust cut off, and it's cut into like 4 squares. And then he makes an extra one and wraps it in parchment and says it's for dragon bait.
Jet's gonna lean over to Cole. Does he know how to read minds?
I feel like that's because when in Mesro you just cut it into 4s, but maybe.
Cause I didn't say shit. I was outside.
I've been outside this whole time.
Literally, I was like, Jet's outside because I wanted Jet to try to do more with the book. And then you asked Devon, you're like, okay, here's all the gifts. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna see what happens.
Dumoneth is awkwardly holding 2 sides of the cut sandwich at the same time, and her longbow in the other hand, like.
It's a double decker now.
It's a triple decker.
Artis carefully winds around the group, pulls the door open, and holds Jet's sandwich out to him. And then, like, without a word, he just walks back inside. Yeah, I need to get into the spire in the middle to bury Messica, when it's where all the honored dead are buried.
Sounds like a perfect place for her then.
Yeah, after Mesro fell, me and Rosnasi spent a lot of time burying the people there.
Well,
so they try to blow my house up. What?
I saw that. I saw the spell she was about to use until you turned into a popsicle.
Yeah.
Yes, who were they?
They have weird salmon color outfit.
I thought they were crimson.
They're carmine.
I was going to say like a red.
Don't be daft. Red.
I don't know. They were just people trying to blow my house up.
It's blood orange, so get your act together.
No, it's definitely a dark salmon. It's from American Griffin. I know these outfits.
Really...
What's American?
I don't know. It's just some weird name they named their clothing.
Neverwinter Outfitters.
There we go.
It's Americans.
Urbane Outfitters. That's from my list, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, Thayans would get their get their robes
Alright, let's
from
go.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Artist will start to wipe down the kitchen counters.
Do you need any help?
No, I'm good. It's my house. You guys are guests. Is it Is it too cold? To turn the temperature up?
That would be
Um,
nice if you could, actually.
Does your ring unmelt things?
It makes the what I've just created is sort of a fruit zone. I did it a little bit more impassioned than I usually do.
I could
So
tell.
yeah, I can make it go away, but
Duvada standing behind Artis, looking at Soul.
Yes, that would be very nice.
I'm falling asleep.
I'm falling asleep. Oh, that's actually terrible. Okay.
For me, it was more so we could take a look at these, if there's any information on.
That would be kind of nice. See what they got in their packs.
They're gonna take a while to melt all the way. It takes several hours.
Oh, okay.
We can head to the spire and back then.
And yeah, if you can't enter the spire, where would you think we could find something like this? And she'll wave the cube around.
Oh yeah, what we came for. Jesus.
He looks at you, Duvaneth, and then makes a non-committal shrug.
Cool. Cathedral raiding. Fun.
There was a play about this. In Boulders.
Do you have... Where's Misaka right now?
Upstairs.
If, even though you cannot enter the spire, would you want to walk with us to the spire?
Yeah, someone's gotta carry Masuka. Well, Masuka's body, she's gone.
How long would it take to get there?
Another non-committal shrug from Artis. Eku pops her head in. Anywhere from 10 to an hour.
Shit.
We'll keep an eye out for the undead.
Also, now with this, we can't be carrying Mesika's body. Looking like that.
She's dead.
It's about the concept.
The dead don't care how I look.
You would be surprised.
You can get cleaned up afterwards.
Well, at least let me braid your hair. You don't have to
Duvaneth,
wash it. Just let me braid it.
Duvaneth will say, the dead might not care what you look like, but if, like us, you want to help stop this or try to stop this curse, you've got to at least be somewhat functioning, and this isn't it.
Beauty cover on their face.
No looking zone.
He'll breathe out through his nostrils, and he'll take a chair from the table and sit down in it, stretching out his legs. If you check inside my coat shack, I have my shaving kit and comb in there.
Cole gets up and goes to get the kit and the combs.
All right. Do you only check the necessary pockets, or do you rifle through it all?
He
Are
only
you
checks the
nosy?
necessary pockets for now.
Jets can...
His shaving.
Sorry, Jets was just gonna be like, can you do the unmelting thing now? While we wait?
Yeah, I just did.
Thank you.
He turns up the thermostat, but it's not like an automatic thing.
It's gonna walk outside and just watch to see if anything starts melting so he can hack at it with his knife.
He's gonna take out a lot of his anger issues today.
Ice pick.
Fucking orcs.
Artis is going to. You're able to find his comb and his grooming kit. It's nice, it's old, it's well worn, very well loved and well taken care of. You have it now.
Cole goes over and he starts prepping, because I feel like he would have done this.
Would have done this at some point before.
Yeah.
To briefly describe his sandwiches, all of them were toasted, and there's a so it's like some crunch, and then like soft peanut butter and warmed jelly, and there's a lot of nice textures at hand here. A little eccentric, but like you can see why.
Toasted PB&J is the bomb.
Oh yeah, like peanut butter and jelly toast, amazing. Just like
Koashak pushes his Triceratops safe sandwich in front of Artis and starts combing his hair.
what kind of jelly is it?
Strawberry.
Yes.
It's the good shit.
Oh hell yeah. Oh, I haven't made jelly in forever. Oh.
Can I
But
roll for a shaving skill?
Yes. It's dexterity. Or whatever else you think would fit here.
Can it be animal handling?
God damn.
Artis is not a bear by any sense of the word. He's like an
No.
otter
Yes.
at most.
No,
Yes,
but
you
Cole
can use
is
animal
taming.
handling.
Cole is trying
It
to
was-
tame the beast that is his hair.
That
right
is
now.
the beard.
You're never gonna use animal handling any other time, so might as well.
You say this now.
Hey.
You just hear Cole going, "Easy boy."
Good girl. Good
Pretty
girl.
woman.
Who's a good beard?
Who's a
You're waking my dad up. I'm sorry. Shh, your mouth. You're killing me. Okay, Koshak. It takes you a little bit of time, but you're able to soothe and help Artis get cleaned up. He doesn't really test the sandwich much, though that's because you're messing around with his face. But when you move back to start braiding his hair, he'll kind of pick it up between his hands, tear it in half, and start eating.
Poor Triceratops.
Murder.
Murder.
How is the walk here?
Wet.
Didn't we run into something fun on the way here though? I'm blanking.
The
Yeah, but you stabbed it.
bridge statue.
Yes, yes.
Nice. I just flew here.
Well, you can fly too.
Hmm?
You can fly?
Yeah, on an ice thing. I
Hmm.
just made it go.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know you could do that. Well, I knew you could do like polar bears, but
Yeah, I don't bother climbing up to Kirsten Ball. It's just too much work.
yeah, it really is. Oh, we found we were attacked by velociraptors on our first bump out, and one of them survived, and so it's tameable and is currently
At Kirsablon.
at Kirsabal, thank you.
That's nice. I'm sure the kids appreciate that.
Yes, Kostka wouldn't say it out loud, but I think she appreciated the pet.
Yeah, she does that a lot, the not saying things out loud.
Yes, I've noticed that about her.
Yeah, the Chultons are tricky like that. Have you been to the library yet? No, you came here straight away.
There's a library.
Of course there's a library.
I mean, the city used to be a metropolitan city, so I don't see why there wouldn't be a library.
True.
Can't imagine the tomes are in any state where they're usable.
No, I mean they're good. Again, a lot of work was put into preservation. I always remember the scholars in the library talking about they all knew that the city would die at some point.
I mean,
So
all
they-
cities do.
So they accounted for it.
Where's the library located?
In the library section.
Which section is that?
Where the library is. He'll nod to himself as if this answers the question.
Locals and their directions, right?
If you go past the third bush on the left, you'll find it.
Yeah, if you
You see an
If you
apricot tree, you went too fucking far. Need to come back.
if you see Earl's house, you went too far. You gotta go back to Jesse's and you gotta work your way back around.
Earl is the bastard who wears overalls. Wait, what day is it? Is it Wednesday? Wednesday, he might be wearing the shirt that says stupid. So you look for Earl.
Yeah, he's the one that let the
He
rat
sits out on his porch.
shot the rabbit in the pea patch last year, and we had a nice barbecue with that one. I tell you.
So Artis is taken care of. He's braided and Koashuk, how did you do his beard?
Handlebar.
No,
I ride my bike
I'm not
with
giving
no
him a handlebar mustache. He did leave like this. So pour the tea.
Pour yeah, so goatee.
But he's cleaned up and he'll disappear upstairs and emerge with Messica being bridal carried in his arms. She looks exactly as you did when you guys had left.
She doesn't look like rotten or anything.
I
No.
thought Soul said that out loud. Oh my
No,
god.
no.
Um,
Holy fuck.
I would have just blacked the screen out. Game over. So we open in Port Yansuru, Cavalier, and
Y'all motherfuckers are dead.
Oops. No, Soul would not say that out loud.
Fuck,
Sure hope
I
not.
straight up had a heart attack. I was like, Soul.
This is
No,
it.
I did not drop my voice as low as I possibly can. Do you need me to carry anything for you to bring over there?
no, I'm good, but thank you.
Of course.
Do you want to carry her there and have us do the rest of the way?
Yeah, I'd like that. You'll be able to find where to bear her pretty easily.
Is there like a signifier? Or
Yeah, her names will be on a plaque. We put them in shelves.
okay.
Of course. Let's go.
Begin the carrying.
All right. So you guys are going to make it to the spire of Upteo in the middle of the city, which is, by the way, the gigantic building that
What? I had no idea what that was.
Wild, right?
I thought that was
So
like.
you guys are making your way there?
Yes.
I thought it was a strip club. Sorry.
Right, awesome. I need whoever is leading to make a survival check as you're sort of navigating through. Eku can offer to do it, but this isn't her forte.
Soul usually leads
Mhm.
because big buff dude.
But
Big
Soul has
buff
set
man.
off 2 traps already.
Yeah, which is why he's in front because he can handle that.
We're all
So
gonna
he'll go ahead
die.
and make the survival. Ugh.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and toss on. It's not that important. Yeah, it's not important enough to toss on a card.
I mean, we're carrying somebody's body to their final resting place.
Well, she's not. Like, it just means it will take longer getting there, right? Like,
I think so.
yeah.
0 to 10.
The DM one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what she's looking at. I'm just.
He's like,
notes.
how am I gonna kill these motherfuckers today?
So you're not doing anything?
Fine. I'm gonna go ahead and use a card to.
I love how just Fish saying that was just like shit.
Okay,
I
a
might
12 instead. I will take a 12 instead. 12 isn't
Okay.
bad.
Jesus.
I know, right?
Sorry, can you hear that?
Yeah.
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 Sorry.
No, it's okay. It just now that whatever you just did was really loud.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah,
her hitting the string.
It sounded like
spring.
it sounded like a guitar string.
I got it. Okay. As you guys move carefully, you're able to exit through the getting my words together. Exiting out of the wall closest to the spire is easy enough. There appears to be a lot more exits and entries out. Of note, the biggest one appears to have been carved out of the wall with magic, and the walling on the other side has toppled over. And specifically on the 4 walls that form around the spire, instead of a statue being placed at every 5 or 10 feet, there appears to only be statues at every like intersection, if that makes sense, of the wall.
That makes sense.
And you all can recognize that one of the statues placed on the quarter right here is a very handsome, smiling, dimpled man that you all recognize as the Rosmasi that you have seen in the jugs and memories and so on and so forth.
Cole smirks.
Again, you wade through the water. This time isn't as miserable as when you're approaching. This one is about maybe knee deep to Jet, so a little bit more bearable to the rest of you. Yuka is still riding on Eku's shoulders. There isn't undead, but there are a lot of floating bodies.
Ew.
All of them in varying states of decomposition. You can recognize some as wearing the tabards of the Flaming Fist. Some of them are just plain adventurers in gear, being weighted down by backpacks or heavy weaponry. Just give me a moment.
Media, I might have to go back and clip.
What'd you
What are you
do?
doing? I had a realization.
What's that?
You
No,
said
I wanna
you said the flaming fist, and Beauty's face was just like,
Um,
it was amazing.
so the tower is tall. It is unspeakably tall. It touches through and seems to almost pierce the clouds. The and it's sort of formed in a perfect triangle. The walls are made out of an unearthly polished gold, embedded with crystals at some parts. And as you're walking by, you can see your face is perfectly reflected. There's white, again, much like the structuring of the walls and some of the buildings, like almost white marbling at each intersection of the gold panels that make up the wall. And the flooring that the temple is situated on is made out of that familiar white stone, and it steps lead out into the water, and it's all not immaculately kept, but there's no plant growth choking it out, and at a certain point there isn't any plant growth at all. Condensation still forms on parts. You can see water erosion and other signs of wear and tear, but this temple has stood through a really long time, and it's going to continue doing that. The front of the building is easy to find. It's this particularly gorgeous archway made out of more identifiable material, specifically obsidian and emeralds and other things. This place is grotesquely expensive and rich. And the doorways are made out of a heavy, gorgeous red wood with doorknobs made shaped like a triceratops, where the heads have been softened with years and years, centuries of constant use. And while the doors seem big, all of them towering over even Solidago, they look easy to maneuver.
So the doors are
You're in
closed.
front of the. Yes, they are closed.
Soul will open the doors.
Okay. As you open the main doors, do you open both at the same time or just one?
Soul would go for one, and if that doesn't work, he'll. No, this is a special occasion. He'll go with two. He'll try both.
All right. As you push open both doors, they'll respond. There's no creaking of hinges that need to be oiled. There's nothing that shows the time or degradation. And the doors will swing open for you. And
Nice.
stretching out is a long hallway lined with pillars. There's alcoves between every pillar, and those alcoves, each of them have statues cut and shaped meticulously out of onyx. In the very, very far back, there's this dreadful, ominous blackness, shadows kind of moving and dancing with the light that's now swarming through.
Does it look like threatening? Like it could be like a creature of some sort, or is it like just like creepy?
For now, it just appears creepy.
Okay, cool.
Dubonnet will look at Artis and say, "How far can you get?"
I get to the doorway and then it stops.
Like you can't go any further at all.
He'll kind of making sure Messica's body is still with him. He'll walk forward, and just as he's about to cross the threshold of the temple, his face smushes as if against glass. Messica's body, to note, passes through unfazed.
Right. Well, we can take her from here then.
Okay.
When I guess the glass is activated, can Jet try to sense if there's any, if it's a magical barrier that it has to do with him, or is it more religious, I guess?
Make an Arcana or religion check if you'd like.
Religion.
Take your chances.
Hey! Take a chance. Take a chance. Take a chance. Take a chance.
Looking at it, Jet, with your understanding of religion in other places, the doorway is a very sacred thing. It's about passing through. It's about, new things. It's domesticity and the home. This is also the Temple of Uteo. If you had to guess, this could be considered the home of Uteo. So, Artis in particular has done something to be forbidden from crossing the threshold into Uteo's home. This could be a variety of things, denying him, or even finding a new god.
It's gonna look at. Do you remember the first time you were denied the doors?
I haven't been to Mesro since 10-ish years ago.
And that's when you stopped being able to come in?
No, I didn't enter the temple then, so I don't know.
You've done any? Could have been.
No, there's. Who paused? Who press his lips together, and I think I have an idea. He'll glance around for a continued sake. Let's not
can
get
worry
into
about
it.
Yes.
Cole is going to approach and see if he can go through.
Okay. You step through. The air is dusty. It's hot, a little muggy, but
Bless you.
Dubonnet
So
check, see if she's good.
yeah. So also touches.
Great.
Nice. Cool. So like take off his pack, and offer up his arms to Artis.
You're doing that. Can Jet do a little prayer, even if it's nothing?
if he wants.
Well, he's gonna be behind Artis, and he's just basically gonna mumble to himself, and just ask if Artis can just get a pass to take care of a worthy person of burial, as they are. And I can do it in character if you would.
Do it in character.
Okay. So Jet will step back a little bit while they're figuring out how to hand the Jessica off. Go, I know this is your home and I don't want to be rude, But this is more than just a normal visit. So, wondering if you could give him a temporary pass so that way he can say goodbye properly. Everyone should at least have one.
Roll a d100.
Trip.
Thank you, Moody.
No discernible reply. Artis will have passed Messica off to Solidago. She's unearthly cold to the touch. It appears that Artis had been preserving her. And he'll take a step forward. And right before he does, he gives Jet a very hopeful expression. And when he turns around, he bounces off of the invisible wall and stutters back on his feet.
Sorry.
It's not your fault, Jet. It's mine.
Can you keep a watch on my bag? While we...
Yeah.
Thank you.
Echo will... I'll also keep a watch on things, and she'll hook Yoga off of her back, take her staff back, put him in front of the doorway, and then, push him forward. And you see him walk through the archway, turn around to go back to Echo, and then she, pushes him forward again, like a cat that just doesn't get what she's trying to say.
I feel this is a real life scenario for you.
Koashak holds a hand out for Yoka to take if he looks confused or upset.
Yoka takes it.
Jet will finally walk through, giving Artis a sad no.
Alright, you guys are now in the Hall of Champions. What?
Jet's gonna look to Soul. Do you know where to go?
No, but apparently her name will be labeled. You just have to look.
Are there archways branching off?
No, but there are alcoves with statues.
Are we far away from the entrance?
We
No,
just
you're-
walked through the entrance.
Yeah, you're at the front door.
Okay, good. Jet's gonna turn back around. Which way do we go?
Forward.
Do we take turns?
No, I'm sorry. So the shadowy mass, you have to think about a room and it will take you there. But...
So if we say her proper spot, it should take us there?
Yeah, but it's... here.
What?
She's in the far back.
Oh, over there?
Yeah, left-hand side, just by the shadowy mass.
We'll make sure she's comfortable.
Thanks.
It will nod and then slowly start to make the walk.
Okay. It's cold, it's dusty. There's many statues peering forward at you. Their black onyx eyes seeming to trail after you. Do you pay any close attention to any of them?
Jet would just try to he's very fascinated that this is Opteo's home.
Cole is paranoid, so he's gonna see if any of them move.
Soul is focused on moving forward and seems to be specifically not looking at anything.
Duvana.
Cube Watch 2020.
Look for cubes.
I will be right back. We're not going on break.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to move.
Yeah, baby, you have to move.
I'm wondering if the cube is in this tower, if we have to
Think about
think
it.
about it
Yep.
and walk into the shadowy mass.
Yep.
Probably.
But we don't know which, like, god is on the cube.
No, but I'm sure if we say the cube room.
Take us to the cube room.
Cube room, please.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, while we were talking, I have the game doodle of the day.
Ooh, what's the game doodle of the day?
Me continuing with my
EDOD.
Iris
B-Rez?
and also
Oh.
Amissica.
Oh, Riz.
Okay, so Fish can't hear this.
Hurry up.
Joan told me to say that she thinks that Fish looks like Milo from Atlantis on the street.
Damn it, now that you say it, I see it.
Jesus.
So mean, Joan.
They a savage.
Oh, if you
Classy,
also want to
bougie,
see the
ratchet.
if you also
Or
want
the
to see
Twinkie
what I
person
made,
from Stargate.
yes. If you would also like to see the art that I made, you should join our Discord server if you're not already a part of it.
True.
Real.
We talk about a bunch of stuff, and I post a lot of art because I've been in an art kick lately.
That's good. Your art be poppin'.
Oh, by the way,
I know, it has
I
been.
have to call to arms for you guys. I need help with Suna.
Oh, for the final pick.
Yep. And I want it to be a group thing since y'all love him as a fuckboy.
He's such a fuckboy.
And apparently the hottest one of all, so obviously I need to make sure that he's up to your fucking standards.
I already told them. They already know.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Are we on stream? Are we live?
Yep. Yes,
no,
we are.
no, of course not.
I do not look like Milo from Atlantis. We do not look the same. We are completely different. Hey, Joan, unrelated question. Can you tell me in our private server which is your favorite PC? Just completely unrelated.
I didn't say shit.
Hey! I didn't do anything! Also, it's, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
I feel like it's not a good thing. By the way, they said in all caps, yes, you fucking do.
Rude.
Give me 1 second.
There
We'll
was
get
a-
back into the swing of
There
things.
was a bunch of O's, so I kind of had to, I had to say it like that. Sorry.
Mhm.
It
I also posted my game doodle in the art discuss.
That's so good.
it does. I had to,
It's topical
harness
AF.
my soldier boy.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna tell them what Joan.
Wherever the souls go, they're together now again.
So Koshak, what are you doing as you move through the...
Seeing if any of the statues move, even if it's just their heads, to watch them walk by. He's
Okay.
seeing if that happens.
Jet, as you're moving forward and taking stock of the statues, you can see that they bear the name of the statued person, any relevant titles, and then what might have been an ability they must have had. You see a very young boy, maybe about waist high. His name was something like Tafa, and he appeared to have had the ability to fly. And you can even see feathers growing out of his arms, and this really delighted, charming look on his face. You see an older woman, tall, stoic, handsome of face, with a name like Naglol, and she had the ability to dominate and control minds. Move on. All of them are human, men and women, child, teenager, all of them of varying body types and other sizes. There's things like controlling the weather, tafima. There's things like reading minds. There's things such and so forth. Someone able to cast spells that only the Netherese could dream of. There's another figure who lived for a short time, if you had to guess, given by how hasty the plaque was made. Someone who is able to cast very destructive spells.
He didn't know.
Yeah. Acrobat died of a broken neck. That sort of thing.
So on and so on. Are there any in particular, Jet, that you're keeping an eye out for?
I guess. You can get back to me on this one. This is gonna be a good one. I just gotta think.
Okay, cool. Koshuk, as you're navigating through and kind of keeping an eye out for the statues moving, none of them do. Sure, the eyes appear to be following you, but after the maybe 7th or 8th statue that's eyes appears to be following you, you're able to sort of center yourself. More like a thought entering your head, saying they were just designed that way. Divanis, you're looking at the cube or looking for the cube?
You're muted.
I'm looking at the floor, the corners of the room, any sort of like little alcove that look like it might be out of place, or anywhere where it could either a cube like the one that I have could be placed either intentionally or haphazardly. Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. It's been swept. Whoever swept did a horrible job. You can see dust forming in the crevices. They'd really benefit from like a device that could inhale, maybe.
An inhaler, if you would.
Some of the alcoves appear to be shoddy or improperly made, but taking a closer look at them, it just appears to be from hasty repairs or just from not enough time to carve out a dedicated alcove. So the doggo, you're carrying Messica very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
And Jet, as you're nearing through the shadowy mass, you see the first non-Chulten that you've ever seen in that alcove.
Oh, that piece.
He's maybe a little bit taller than you, very thin, very academic, if you had to see, a little bit older. The statue showed that he had wiry hair, bushy and textured in the way that people who don't brush their hair tends to get. And he has a very strong nose. And it's Dalmas Rayburton, and he had the ability to speak and understand any language, ancient, written, spoken, anything. If it was used to communicate, he could understand. And also he could control minds, but not that one.
Has Jet ever heard of this before? Any of the like Everwinter textbooks?
You certainly have. I will give you the basic information. And Thomas Rayburton belonged to a adventuring guild of some kind. He was from Cormier, but he bebopped around and was pretty infamous at Candlekeep for getting into arguments, and also pretty infamous at Neverwinter for getting into arguments, specifically over the preservation of historical artifacts. And he's kind of a people's hero in that he has a lot of problem with adventurers keeping artifacts and not passing them over when they retire. And he went missing maybe 150-ish years ago.
That seems to be here. You just went.
Nope. She's drinking the thing.
Started talking.
A statue
Yeah.
of his likeness appears to be.
Jet's gonna see, like, look real quick to see how much time he has to actually, like, look at this, and that didn't.
There appears to be 2 more alcoves until the shadowy mass.
Keep walking, looking for Meska's name, but also.
Next one over is Alessandra Rayburton. You can see her
It's her dad.
face on the statue is the same face that you met in front of the temple. Her hair tied back, and it's sort of half done. And unlike when you met her this time, her hair is sort of like done in a lot of delicate braids, and it looks very nice. And she has a cocky smile. It tells you that Alessandra Rayburton was able to talk to animals and even possess warm-blooded, including dinosaurs.
Ooh.
I am but again, did good. Press button.
You're gonna make her cry.
There's one more alcove.
Who does this one belong to?
Roughly the same height as Alessandra. Her hair is straight, and there's no bangs, but they're swept to the back, and they must be pinned with something. There's a little bit of fringe. She's athletically built and adorned with the refinery and regalia of the Hitzili, or hummingbird warriors. Mesika's outfit is the same on the statue as it is in person. And the plaque reads as Mesika Rayburton, the ability to duplicate and create countless clones of herself.
Ooh.
Jet's gonna study this one for a second. I think I found it.
What gave it away?
So first statue name, but if you read the part underneath it, Death Curse is here, but this still kind of makes me question things.
I assume artist wouldn't be as upset about it if she wasn't. If she was just a clone.
Well, it's I don't think. Which is essentially like a snowman's copy of elf.
That seems like it'd be a little bit useless. How would it even move?
It's you, but it's made from snow.
But yeah, it's made of snow. How would it move?
I will have someone show you.
Ah, all right. Does there look like a place to put Messica there?
They're kind of hidden behind the statue. There appears to be a shelving.
Cool.
Not like shelving, but like a drawer knob. Like it's just a drawer.
Yep. Cool. So, we'll look to someone else to open it for him.
That will do.
You'll pull out, and there's a roughly 7-foot by 4-foot wide space to put Messica's body.
Nice. So we'll lay her down very carefully, making sure that she is situated properly.
You have done so.
Store feels awkward not to say anything. Didn't know you for long, but you seemed loved.
Can Cole Druid craft some hibiscus like around her head?
Pull up the rules for Druidcraft.
It's like the Druid version of prestidigitation.
Instantly make.
It says you instantly make a flower blossom, a seed pod open, or a leaf bud bloom, but it doesn't create it.
Aw. Dang it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's the thought that counts, and it's the count.
Thoughts.
Strahd?
We're not going to derail us. I'm trying to end the session. Are you guys burying her?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. You close the shelving?
We closed the shelving.
Awesome. Did you guys leave the front door open?
The
Did
thing that
we?
Jen opened?
We certainly didn't specify that we closed the door, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because there was much drama about seeing if we could pass through.
Yeah,
Yeah, seeing
artists-
if artists could go through.
Yeah, Artis and Eku
So
were gonna
I-
wait there.
Yeah, so I think we might have left the door open because we thought that they would have closed it.
Okay. They would have, but I was just asking to
Yeah.
make sure Okay, awesome. As you guys close shut the shelving, multiple things happen at once.
Oh boy.
You hear artists give out a loud, sharp cry, and
Oh, no.
something heavy thud into the door.
Oh
The
boy.
shadowy mass constricts and folds in on itself, and a relatively average height Chilton man steps out. He has a long nose and tightly cropped hair with graying temples, who bears a distinct likeness to someone very familiar to all of you.
Is it your fault?
No.
It's
If it
fucking
was-
Koshok's dad. Not Koshok's dad, Koskull's dad.
So that happens. Yeah. And that's where we'll end the session for today.
Oh boy.
Alright.
So there's a thud at the door?
So artist cries out. There's a loud thudding at the door. A reminiscently looking figure will step forward, middle-aged, out of the shadowy and tangled mass that's the door area, and then the session ends.
Damn.
Oh shit.
Alright, so this is an early session.
Yeah, short one.
All right. Thank you all who came to hang out tonight. I guess we in some shit.
Yeah, we are entering into some shit.
Right. See you all next week.
Love you guys.
Goodbye.